So the Nets making a switch here. Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in. And Milwaukee also making a switch. Bryant's checked in. And he sinks the second. Milwaukee in the lead.
What's up, Cena? What's up, Scott? How you living? Bring it to that. Bring it to that.
We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second. Misses. The Nets have got only 1 of 4 shots to go in.
And if you had to display the cover art in your house, what room would you put it in?
In my closet or my art room. My wife can let me go anywhere else.
And there's a whistle. That'll belong to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second foul here pretty early in this one. He's got to be careful for the rest of this half.
Both teams deciding to change it up.
I was a software engineer, and data annotation came up.
After doing a short qualification, a couple days later, there's a bunch of different projects
And now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter here.
I'm my own boss.
I had a dashboard full of projects
Bryant.
and paid minimum $40 per hour. 100% recommend signing up for data annotation.
Here's Nash.
What's good with you, Steve? How you living?
Pass to James.
Question. What's your
Nibali
worst
grabs a miss.
PG nightmare? My nightmare is one of
Bucks
these.
have got 2 of
A
7
single
attempts
week,
to drop
you
since the
step
end
down
of
an
the first
entire
quarter.
clinic.
Always a nice way to start.
I hear
It's
you.
his first one.
The pressures of
And
keeping
he's able
my
to
people
sneak it to the
safe
rim.
while
And
protecting my
definitely
business
deep
cost me a lot of sleep. As CM Punk is your new world heavyweight champion. Well, at least he was for about 5 minutes and 10 seconds until Seth Rollins cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and defeated Punk to win the title. Yeah, karma's a real bitch. Trying to stand press all Amy looks at the real reason why CM Punk's WWE World Heavyweight Championship reign lasted 5 minutes. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook. Number 1. Gunther gets another title run. Gunther is no longer world champion. This sounds so bad, but consider he's already held the world title twice in 1 year.
Tired of watching this nigga win the title 1,000 times and lose it to somebody lesser than him. Punk is lesser than him right now as a wrestler. He's old, but he's like he's a legend. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying as of right now.
Top prizes, remember, it's three-time world champion. Number 2, to the chase. As much as the wrestling industry has changed,
nobody wants to see Gunther chase.
The chase, then there is the win still applies. Although CM Punk's reign seems
Gunther is nobody's favorite player.
The first time a wrestler's won a world title only to be shown the door by a Money in the Bank briefcase holder, and it's a trope that's likely going to be repeated as long as the WWE continues the Money in the Bank gimmick. Here, fans have seen CM Punk spend over a year and a half trying to win a world title. And tonight, he achieved his goal, only to have his arch-rival steal it from right under him. Karma is definitely a bitch, as let's not forget that Punk was involved in Drew McIntyre losing the World Heavyweight Championship in record time at WrestleMania 40. In fact, they almost share the same title length reign, with Drew McIntyre only holding it for a couple of seconds longer. WWE has to believe this is a formula for a money-making feud, and that Punk's loss and fan sympathy at how he was robbed of the title will encourage fans to stay tuned in and support Punk, whether it's through buying merch or tickets to live events. Number 3, it elevates Rollins to Raw's #1 heel. Seth Rollins has been at the top of Raw for years. Now that he's heel again, having him steal CM Punk's hard-won and well-deserved world title win cements him as Raw's #1 heel. Rollins' reputation as a schemer has reached new heights this year, starting with his alliance with Paul Heyman and continuing with his recruitment of Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. Throw in an undeserved Money in the Bank win and a sketchy cash-in, and you have all that's needed to have fans emptying their wallets to see Rollins get his comeuppance. However, WWE may have overreached here, angering fans so much that Rollins will have go-away heat where fans are so worked that Punk's reign ended in minutes that they tune out of WWE programming. But with the NFL returning in a few weeks, it'll be interesting to see if WWE struck gold or shot itself in the foot. Number 4, it elevates Heyman's group even more. A Punk's short reign reflects just how powerful Paul Heyman's group has become. While Seth Rollins is the man who cut Punk's title reign short, Rollins' muscle of Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed have played an integral role in every step of Seth's journey. While Breakker and Reed haven't had much to do other than serve as Rollins' lackeys, this could change thanks to a run with the tag team titles or a situation where the two serve as a gauntlet for would-be challengers to run before they get a shot at the championship. Names like LA Knight and Jey Uso come to mind. One thing's for sure, WWE really upped the idea that Paul Heyman was the brains behind this whole operation, as Wade Barrett couldn't stop singing Paul Heyman's praise as being the one who really was the mastermind behind this on commentary. Having Paul Heyman by his side has really paid off, and it makes him one of the most lucrative managers to ever have by a wrestler's side. Number 5, Punk is no stranger to Money in the Bank cash-ins. The CM Punk situation may seem sad to his fans, but consider this. CM Punk is no stranger to Money in the Bank cash-ins as he successfully cashed in the briefcase twice in a row. The first time was against Edge, while the second was against Jeff Hardy, a cash-in that led to Punk turning heel. Punk knows the way the briefcase works, which could set things up for the next reason why his reign was so short-lived, as could it turn heel? Punk's woefully short reign could also pull the trigger on a Punk heel turn, something that's been discussed ever since Punk's 2023 return to WWE. Fans still remember the tense standoff between Punk and Cody Rhodes before 2024's Royal Rumble, a standoff that saw Punk acting heelish during his promo. While Punk has been a fan favorite throughout his current run in WWE, he's also pointed out that he's not into it to please the fans, but to further his career. Seeing himself shortchanged by Rollins may lead to Punk realizing they may have taken his eye off the ball by catering to the fans. And it's time to look out for number 1. If WWE does turn Punk heel, the Second City Saint can build instant heat by complaining about the cash-in, despite the fact that he's done the same 2 times. Number 7, WWE needed something big for SummerSlam's first night. And don't be surprised if fans learn that WWE's writers were told to come up with something huge for SummerSlam's first night. That something, of course, being said cash-in. And there are multiple reasons for this. With this being the first year SummerSlam is running 2 nights, WWE wanted to make fans wonder what the other surprises are in store for night 2. I think this is this year's WrestleMania when Paul Heyman betrayed Roman Reigns and CM Punk to join up with Seth Rollins. There's also the possibility WWE realized that night 1 wasn't the strongest of the 2 nights, and it needed something shocking to make the 2-night concept seem worthwhile. Looking at night 1 in its entirety, to see why WWE might feel that it needed a big finish to a hit-and-miss show. Whether the finish was the right call remains to be seen. WWE really went out of their way to make sure that the dirt sheets didn't know about the truth of Seth Rollins' injury. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful even mentioned that they even worked producers and medics on that angle, and they did a great job in covering it. It just goes to show the lengths that WWE are going to make sure that these shocking surprises still pan out. Number 8, Punk doesn't need a world title. One undeniable reason for Punk's short reign is that he doesn't need a world title. Punk is at the stage in his career where he can carry any program off his reputation alone. Sure, it's nice to have a world title around your waist, just as many of the WWE superstars would go to extreme lengths just to hold the strap around their waist. But in Punk's case, he knows his value to WWE. He also knows the way the business works. Keeping fans invested in storylines, and unless everything we've seen on TV is wrong, Punk doesn't have any problem doing what's best for business. This ranges from putting someone over in a match to building interest for a rematch, or here dropping a world title to build interest in rematches. Tonight, Punk isn't a full-timer. Now, another reason for Punk's short reign is that he isn't a full-time competitor. While Punk works a decent schedule, including TV appearances, WWE wants and needs a world champion who can work a regular schedule. While there are occasional exceptions, of John Cena's reign as WWE's Undisputed Champion being one such example, because WWE likely believes Cena's farewell tour justifies a part-time player holding a world title, WWE seems more committed to having a full-time world champion. Seth Rollins is a full-time world champion and can defend the title anytime he's asked, whether it's on TV, PLEs, or increasingly infrequent house shows. He could also appear in interviews as needed, giving fans and the media instant access to World Champion.
Tired of endless security alerts? Cut through the noise with Aikido, the one platform to secure code, cloud, and run time. See what matters.
Number 10, it adds to Roman vs. Punk vs. Rollins. A Punk short title reign as champion also adds to the Roman Reigns vs. Cena.
I don't want Roman in nothing, he ain't gonna win, bro.
Punk can take deal thanks to Seth Rollins sandbagging his title reign. Even if he doesn't, Punk now has an added incentive for wanting to get his hands on Rollins. As far as he's concerned, Roman Reigns is just someone who's in the way. This could lead to a mini-feud between Punk and Reigns, as Rollins will hope they'll destroy each other, perhaps wondering whether Punk and Roman might join forces to take out Rollins and his crew. Whatever the case, the slowly developing program between the three has another layer to it. I mean, it's obviously clear that this feud is not over. It seems like all things are pointing towards the feud culminating in a Hell in a Cell match. At number 11, WWE thinks they surprised its fans. I think WWE pulled the proverbial wool over the WWE Universe's eyes by having Seth Rollins stage an injury and pretend he wouldn't be able to compete for some time. Now, we're doubtful that many fans were fooled that Seth was actually injured. WWE apparently seems to think so. Here, WWE kept fans in the dark about the nature of Rollins' injury, with fans even hearing supposed stories that WWE's original plans to Seth's passion, and that was absent from SummerSlam residents scrambling their plans. WWE's strategy was to keep its fans in the dark so that when Seth did show up at SummerSlam, they'd be shocked and also led to believe that Rollins is WWE's mastermind ability. The downside to this is that it's unlikely that many fans were fooled. In WWE's case, it's a classic case of the boy who cries wolf. Fans have been lied to so many times by WWE officials, including Nick Khan denying Pat McAfee couldn't make it to a WWE event, only for McAfee to show up, but they never got to trust WWE statements. And we get it, wrestling companies, not limited to WWE, want to keep fans in the dark about surprise returns, shocking storylines, and match results. However, WWE does such a bad job at trying to fool the fans that it's inevitable that more people will feel like WWE is insulting their intelligence. Rollins' surprise cash-in was anything but a surprise, and just as bad was the way he did it was something that fans have seen way too many times. Wrestlers using the briefcase as a weapon, kicked out an already weakened opponent and covered them to become champion. I won't think that there's nothing wrong with the Money in the Bank concept, but when it becomes formulaic, it becomes a problem. What do you guys think of CM Punk's very short reign of 5 minutes and 10 seconds? Let us know in the comments down below. We'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
You have to love it. The floor general taking things into his own hands.
Just the aggression they're looking for, man.
No doubt. That's the kind of play that can energize the whole team, and they will take it in a close game like this.
For 3, Anthony nails it from beyond the arc. 6 points for him.
A clean start.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was insane. Welcome to my SummerSlam Night 1 review. We are going to be talking about one of the craziest nights in professional wrestling in recent memory. We're going to go through things match by match. I'm going to tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, do I agree with the results, and where I think storylines are going to end up going from here. And yeah, we're going to spend a good chunk of time talking about the insane passion that I've seen in a long time. Maybe the most insane cash-in of all time, the ruse of the century. By the way, there is another version of the review with footage so that you can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about over on patreon.com/SonsTrav. I obviously can't post that version here because it would just get blocked immediately due to copyright, so if you want the better version of the review, check the link in the description or the link in the pinned comment. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm incredibly confident that you're going to fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And damn it, man, this is one of those nights where I just love wrestling.
Alright, I have a family dinner coming up, and I realized I did not pack one single thing. I think I need a new drive summary to the vibes. I feel like I only brought one out.
Alright, let's talk about SummerSlam Night 1, folks. Let's kick things off by talking about Roman Reigns and Jey Uso defeating Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. This match ended up being a tremendous amount of fun, both from the in-ring action, both from the shenanigans, and both from the overall atmosphere that this created. I think it's a really good idea to have the guy with the most entertaining entrance right now, Jey Uso, plus the guy whose entrance immediately means something serious is about to happen in Roman Reigns, to have them open the show to really get the crowd greased up and going for the rest of the show. I know that I normally do not like Jey Uso running it back and doing it again, but I don't like it when he does it on Monday Night Raw when we have limited amounts of TV cut. If you're going to do it on a PLE, that's fine. And this time, they did one of the best run it back again when it was mid-match with Roman Reigns in the ring as well. I had a good laugh about it, although I know that the Jey Uso haters are going to come out in droves telling you about how goofy and dumb that was. I thought it was the right level of goofy and dumb too, and keep me entertained. I think the best portion of this match was the fact that it wasn't a traditional tag team match. There was a moment where it came back and became a regular tag-in, tag-out tag match, but for the most part, for like 85% of this match, these guys were just brawling with one another inside of the ring or outside. This was, for all intents and purposes, just a tornado tag team match. And I wonder, like, if that was what you were planning on basically doing, why didn't you bill it as such? I feel like there would have been a lot more excitement going into this match if you knew it was going to be tornado tag team style. I think really the reason why they didn't do it as just a tornado tag team is that there was a moment in the match where they were building to the Roman Reigns hot tag as Jey Uso was getting work for a decent chunk of time by DNP security, not to lead to that big Roman Reigns hot tag. But I feel like that's really the only reason to have made a traditional tag team match, because outside of that, they should have just gone with it just being a full-fledged tornado tag team. By the way, for those that don't know what a tornado tag team match is, that's basically everybody in the ring at all times. Crazy spots in this match, too. There were two that involved dives to the outside. The first one was from Roman Reigns, who did the jump from in the ring to the outside, something that he doesn't really do very often anymore. And this man overshot. I think he underestimated his own athleticism because Roman Reigns went past Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed and nearly landed the head first. Thank goodness that he did, because he very easily could have made that spot, but that was dark. The other one was Bronson Reed. Bronson freaking Reed. Just picture about how big this dude is, doing a ghastly suicide dive to the outside, not like a slow one. Like, this dude was sprinting as fast as he could, and just like Roman, probably underestimated his size, latent speed, because he almost also landed on his head. He had Roman Reigns spear Braun Breaker through the barricade, which was a nice little turnaround from how Monday Night Raw ended this week with Braun Breaker putting him through the barricade. That was pretty cool, and that was the way that they basically got Braun Breaker out of the match, because Braun Breaker was a monster, and he was manhandling both Roman Reigns and Jey Uso for a good chunk of it. With Braun Breaker being down, it gave Jey and Roman the opportunity to hit the 1D. The 1D on Bronson Reed, which was so cool to see Jey Uso and Roman Reigns working together as a tag team like this. But ultimately, the finish came with Braun Breaker coming back from the dead, about to hit Jey Uso with a spear. Roman Reigns pushing Jey Uso out of the way and taking a really nasty spear. But that opens the way for Jey Uso to get a quick moment of reprieve, spear, Braun Breaker, splashes, a victory that I thought really was going to be Roman Reigns, but they gave Jey Uso the pin here, which was great. I don't love Bronson Reed taking pins, but that's literally what his job is at this point in this faction. This is called spade and spade at this point, fellas. I do feel like Roman Reigns pushing Jey Uso out of harm's way. I liked how poetic surprise that was. There's many of us that are still wondering, like, why haven't Roman Reigns apologized to Jey Uso? And I kind of saw this as a physical manifestation of an apology by taking that spear instead of letting Jey do. But the crowd was hot for this match. A lot of fun spots. I think that they got the winners right. I do think that Jey Uso being on top here, especially with the new World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins, is the way to go to give Seth Rollins more main event bases to go up against, because we know that Roman Reigns is going to take some time off. And BMP Security, knowing now how the show ended, didn't really ultimately end up needing the win because that faction still came out of this night ridiculously strong. In terms of what's next, my assumption is Roman Reigns taking time off. The filming of Street Fighter is about to begin. Jey Uso will likely get inserted into the main event too. I would not be surprised if it's Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins as early as Clash of Paradise. When it comes to B&B, they're going to be just fine. They're with the World Heavyweight Champion now. They took the L here. Had Seth Rollins not cashed in, I would have been a little bit concerned about the overall importance and scariness of that faction moving forward. But this loss was entirely erased with how the show ended, with B&B Security being part of the big pyro celebration there at the end. So overall, great start to the show. Solid opener amongst one of the best SummerSlam openers of all time. I don't think it quite is as good as Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle per se at SummerSlam 2002, but a really, really solid opener nonetheless. So yeah, I'm gonna give this match some.
Rose into the lane. Brooklyn pulls it in. Now Gilgis Alexander. Pass to Hagen. Shot is up. And the net's miss again.
Wow.
Here's Milwaukee. They're on an 18-7 run. And then Carroll gets it to go. And Carroll's got his second bucket of the night. His energy is unmatched.
And all of a sudden, that man was just on the other end. Wow.
And there's the whistle. Illegal screen is the call. You can get away with one once in a while, but it looked like he wasn't completely
Style Paddle 9, check the science of sales. It won't actually clone your top seller, but it will coach your entire sales team from anywhere, so they can close deals even faster.
DeRozan deciding where to go with it. Here's Bryant. And the sweet roll that time on the rim. That one falls. Bryant's got 7 points in the game.
Next up, we have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defeating the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez to become the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. I am curious if any wrestling historians out there know, is this the first ever SummerSlam to open with 2 tag team champions? And I feel like normally that would be a red flag, but the first tag team match was really, really solid, and I think that this was a really solid follow-up as well. Albeit significantly shorter than the opener that went on for about 22-ish minutes. This also went for a decent amount of time as well, as it clocked in at around 13 minutes, thus giving everyone a good amount of time to really showcase themselves. Call me crazy, but I thought that the MVP of this match, in terms of like movesets, in terms of getting the crowd really going, believe it or not, was Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is the one that kept waking up the crowd, who kept trying to fall asleep in this match. But anytime Charlotte Flair got in, the hoops filled that stadium and the crowd was loud. Which again, what timeline are we living in that Charlotte Flair is this ridiculously over with people? But overall, like from an in-ring perspective, I think that this was a really, really solid match that on this show. Some people are saying that this was going to be potentially the worst match of the night, and I'm here to tell you that it just simply was. Roxanne Perez looked really good in this. I thought that Raquel Rodriguez worked big, looked strong, was scary, but more than anything, I really liked how good of a tag team Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair ultimately were in this match. They just weren't individuals doing individual things in a tag team environment. They were a proper tag team in this match, which was I really like the ending too. The ending sequence had Alexa Bliss accidentally punch Charlotte Flair in the face when Charlotte Flair was kind of cooking everybody, which kind of opened up for the heels to take advantage of things, take out Alexa Bliss, and also take out Charlotte Flair with a Shana bomb as well.
Don't run out. Get your attack back up in there. Your ass ain't doing shit.
But Alexa Alexa Bliss was able to
Man, try that shit, nigga.
And after a little bit more back and forth, this was my favorite moment of the match. Alexa Bliss is ready to deliver to Roxanne Perez, the sister Abigail, and in the background, out looms Charlotte Flair from the grave. I remember she just got hit with 2 finishers, got punched by Alexa Bliss, and she looks at Alexa with like anger and hate, and you think, oh my god, is she gonna take out Alexa Bliss? Only for her to run out Alexa and then hit Raquel Rodriguez, who just appears on camera, giving us that little bit of like, are they gonna be able to work together or not? Is Charlotte gonna throw this all away? She wants to get revenge on what was an accidental punch by Alexa Bliss, but Alexa Bliss is able to hit the Sister Abigail, pick up the victory, and the We're Not Friends Allies of Convenience get to celebrate, they hug, and it was honestly a really heartwarming moment. I can't believe I'm excited and happy for a Charlotte Flair championship win in 2025. I thought this was solid, a decent match all around. I don't think it stole the show from any regard from an in-ring perspective, but I really did like the storytelling, especially the in-ring storytelling there in the last 5 minutes of the match. This also gets 2 thumbs up. Now let's talk about Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. This match was only 8 minutes long, which immediately should be a concern. This is the 3rd match. This is a trilogy. This is supposed to be the rubber match after Sami Zayn won at Night of Champions, Karrion Kross won on Monday Night Raw, and they only get 8 minutes to tell the end of this story. I don't think that it was long enough, and I think that the story that they ended up telling during the 3rd match was ass. First and foremost, the actual match itself wasn't particularly very good. I don't think that it was any worse than their match at Night of Champions or on Monday Night Raw, but neither one of those matches was a match that was going to stand out at any moment. I feel like they weren't able to really hit another gear. This never really felt like they finally figured out their chemistry on the 3rd match and they delivered the best match possible. This feels like they just delivered par for the course, the same type of match, same quality of match as they did at Night of Champions and on Monday Night Raw. And when it says this big of a stage at SummerSlam, and when it's your 3rd match, you can't just be delivering run-of-the-mill. And I really feel like it was a huge whiff, airball, missed opportunity with how this match ultimately ended. Karrion Kross and Scarlett used the steel pipe, which has been a huge plot device in this story thus far. Karrion Kross is not able to use it, it falls out of the ring. Then we got a really intriguing moment, a moment where I said, this could be where Karrion loses but wins. Because Scarlett hands the pipe. Scarlett, Karrion, go, white. Hands Sami the pipe and says, use it. And I'm like, he's old, man. I'm like, man, if Sami wins by using the pipe, he gets his win. Honestly, he gets like a bump in my eyes. He just becomes a main eventer. If he's actually able to tap into this savage version of himself by destroying Karrion Kross with the pipe, while also giving Karrion Kross the ability to win sentimentally so that this whole I'm the devil on your shoulder doesn't just fail like it has been so far. The opportunity was right there to that great finish, but now they did the classic. Sami Zayn is, no, I'm way above this, I'm too good to do this, struggles with himself for a second, throws the pipe, and then just beats Karrion Kross completely clean with the floater press on the corner, helluva kick, and that's it. Sami Zayn looks at Karrion and says, that's it, it's over. Karrion agrees, and I guess we're moving on from this. And honestly, I'm just glad that we're moving on from this now because this hasn't landed, right? And it's got not 1, not 2, but 3 chances to properly land, and they weren't able to make an intriguing match in any of it. In terms of what's next, I think Karrion Kross, I'd just be done with the WWE. As far as we know, he has not re-signed with the company. And the way that this ended, I can't take Karrion Kross seriously. The whole storyline of being the devil on your shoulder, the puppet master, it failed. Glorious. What am I supposed to take away from this with Karrion Kross? What is the silver lining? Unfortunately, I see none. No silver lining, no path moving forward here for Karrion Kross. I think it's over. They might be able to come to an agreement. He re-signs lines, but dude, I don't know how you rehab Karrion Kross from this loss. Sami Zayn, on the other hand, I think he's main event bound. I think that this is a guy that's probably going to win the Royal Rumble. I think this is a guy that is going to be in the world title picture, especially now with Seth Rollins as world heavyweight champion. I think at this point, though, you got to stop billing this guy as the underground from the underdog from the underground.
They have to be pleased with how they got this series.
Sami Zayn is off to greener pastures and hopefully better matches and better storylines. Karrion Kross, I have no idea what the hell they're going to do with it. Next up, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the WWE Women's Championship. Here's the thing, this was the shortest match of the night, but they knocked it out of the park. They only got 7 minutes, but in those 7 minutes, they delivered what I thought was a really good, really engaging match. A match that I think was the best of Jade Cargill's entire career, and the best non-gimmick match since Tiffany Stratton has won the WWE Women's Championship. I still think that her best match thus far is
Make fast your default. Make safe your default. Make Chrome your default.
And let's face it, they won't get back in the game with
Check
fouls like
Google
that.
Chrome for your phone.
Substitutions on the court.
There's 18 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Kim. And so it's Milwaukee easily grabbing this one. And
last woman standing match with Nia Jax, but I'm just talking straight up one-on-one. This 7-minute match was Jade Cargill's best match of her career and Tiffany Stratton's best match of her championship reign. Raise your hand if you were shocked at the moveset that Jade Cargill was pulling out in this match. This woman pulled out so many moves out of the wrestling move bag that I didn't know that she could do. And also the chemistry between her and Tiffany Stratton was stupendous. Like really, really solid work between these two. And they made a short match feel really impactful and absolutely a must watch if you ask